leather gloves were slapping in hams. Popcorn and peanuts were working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer that circled the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live!
Here on Strong Island Television and Paradise Studios in beautiful Massapequa, New York.
Yes. And today's show is brought to us
Tell us about
by
it.
Barasch and McGarry, lawyers
for the 9/11
community.
Thank you, Rich.
Yes.
You're always so good with that because I usually forget that.
Yes.
Because once I get on the air, this is to me is like when I'm on stage. You know when I'm on stage,
Yeah,
I'm all
you're
over the
on.
place.
You are, yeah.
I'm all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing. I get pumped up for this show.
Yes.
And knowing the two great guests we had tonight, who better be a little funny, those guys, these two military, better be a little funny, but they have great stories.
Yeah.
And you being back, because you were gone last week.
Last week I wasn't here, yeah.
But you know what's cool about when you're not here? I love you. You're a great co-host, but I get to bring some other buddies on.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We had
spread the love.
Two guys to replace you, Pat Marone and Les Deegan were here last week.
You need two guys to replace
Yes, and it's 1 week of them is enough, is all I have to say. Glad you're back.
But we love them.
Oh, we had so much fun. I think Pat's at the Met game tonight.
Oh.
So a few things I wanted to talk about. Alex, I know you have a ton of pictures back there that I sent in, about 5 pictures, 6 pictures. So let's see if we can bring them up when I want them up. We should pre-produce that, right? Instead of him just looking.
We could
is he even listening to me back there, or is he on the phone? I think he's on the phone, right?
Yeah.
You're on the phone? Okay. So this week was the big graduation for Olivia Lynn LaRocchia from Binghamton University with her master's in sustainable communities. All right. Now, a little confusing to understand, but it's the first year of this master's program, and Olivia Lynn mastered it.
Wow.
Mastered it. It was, I think, about 12 of them graduated with this master's. Have you been to a graduation at college?
No.
Your daughter is in college.
Yes.
When is she graduating?
She has 2 more years.
2 more years.
So, yeah.
Last year was a lovely ceremony. This year, for the Masters, Richie, there must have been 500 students.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Olivia Lynn LaRocchia was number 8.
Wow.
I got to sit and watch everybody. You can't get up.
Right. So now you could have left after the 8.
I didn't.
I know, you were a good guy.
No, but I did leave early because I was in charge of the food.
Can I tell you a great graduation story?
Yes.
I don't get to talk that much.
That's the plan.
When I was in high school, I played the trumpet. I was in the band. And 11th grade, we're playing for the seniors walking, doing pomp and circumstance.
Gotcha.
And so right before, the whole class is in the hallway waiting to come into the gymnasium. And the conductor, the teacher, goes like this, John. And he realizes that the kid on the timpani drums that set the beat for all the marching is
in the men's room.
Is one of the graduates. And he's not there. So he goes, is anybody can play drums? Now there was 11 trumpet players. I go, I could do it. Listen. Well, I didn't know, but I went around back and he goes, and I go, boing. It goes flying. I didn't know how sensitive it was. I've never played timpani drums.
That's funny.
It's a true story.
That's funny.
And then the whole thing was all off kilter. I'm going boom, 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 boom.
But you had fun. You had fun. Hey, Alex, so you have that picture of me being rescued in the elevator. So I went to help my daughter move out. She lives on the 11th story of this apartment building downtown Binghamton, right in the middle of the city. Okay. Have you ever been rescued before?
No.
Have you ever called 911?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay. So I am a retired New York City firefighter. Certain level of training and respect.
Expertise,
respect.
Yes.
Okay. So the elevator stops. There's 2 kids on it with me, and the elevator didn't stop. It went like this. It dropped.
Oh,
Boom, boom.
wow. Yeah.
It dropped. Yeah, a few feet, but it dropped.
And at your age, that's very.
Yes. It was scary. So now all the power's off. It's starting to get hot in there. It's only 5 minutes, but I have to. I gotta protect these 2 kids in there. I gotta act professional, right?
Right.
So I'm saying, boy, it's getting hot, but I'm talking. So then I hear, hey, what floor are we on? Are you out there? Because none of the buttons are working. You're on the 2nd floor, between the 2nd and 3rd floor. Fire department's here. We'll get you out. I go, all right, great. So I called my daughter's room on the 11th. I got through, and I said, listen, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
My daughter runs from the 11th floor to the 2nd floor. As they open the elevator, Richie, I thought it was about 8 feet, but I had played pickleball the day before. I was sore.
I couldn't see move. It's off.
You could kind of see it was about 4 feet. It looks lower. Yeah. I thought it was about 4 feet. I'm trying to get up, right? First we take the girl and we throw her out.
Is that you laying on the ground?
Yes. First we took the girl and we threw her out. Got her out first. She was scared. She thought the elevator was going to move. Boom, we got her out. Kind of made a rescue.
Right.
All right, a little exaggerated, but we kind of made a rescue, right? Now I said to the other kid, old guy or you? Because he was 21. He goes, old guy, that's me. I try to get out. The fire department. I'm laying on the floor. Oh, I'm getting out. And here's what I hear from the back of about 7 firefighters. My daughter, come on, FDNY, you wuss. Get it. Wow. And I didn't want them to know. Now they pull me. I'm laying on the floor, and she's taking these pictures.
Right.
Did not take the rescue of the girl helping her out. This is the picture she took. Very embarrassing. So I was rescued.
So
up
now,
there.
Who's the one in the back?
He is the kid that was on the elevator.
It looks like you're giving birth, like an elevator birth.
An elevator birth. That doesn't look like me?
The hair is a little whiter.
Yeah, it comes out wider in pictures
and shorter.
So we're moving her out, right?
Yeah.
And I said to my son, let's put a few things in your car before you take off, because he had all the kiddie stuff, the baby stuff.
Right.
I said, where are you parked? He says, out the front door. No, I'm right in the back. I said, you could have parked right in the back. I got a ticket ultimately, but I was right in the back door. We walk out the front door with Olivia's new boyfriend. They both got 2 little bags. I got a big, heavy bag.
Right.
He makes a left. I go, where's the car? I go, we walk all the way down the block. I go, where's the car? I got to make a left.
To the next parking lot.
I go, why didn't you park right? I go, you should have parked in back like me. I got a ticket. So I should have parked. So that was that. Stuck in the elevator. New major. Here's something that I want you to be aware of.
Yes.
When you did you pick your daughter up from college already, though? You did.
Friday.
How was she with the packing when you got up there? All done? Ready to go, Dad?
Yeah. She's ready to go. All done, ready to go.
Oh, my God. Yeah. God bless.
Mattress turned up on its side. You see the springs.
She had 1 bag packed, and all of them were eating breakfast. My other daughter was in there with them, and they were cooking, making breakfast. And I'm standing there like, guys, we got to start carrying the bags down. So,
and did they actually say to you, "Oh, we thought you ate already"?
They said, "No, we thought you were still in the elevator." Dad, just be quiet. Yes. It reaches a point where you just feel like just a big turd. It's like, all right, let him eat.
Well, that's what you are.
I enjoyed the weekend, though, because I was the only one that gets up early except for the goose, my grandson.
Right.
So at like 6:45 in the morning, my daughter-in-law is texting me, you want to take them down for breakfast? Because we're in the room next door, because they wanted to sleep more. Yeah. So you got a picture of me and the goose with the chocolate waffles. So me and the goose, look at this. Can this be better than this?
No.
In the morning, making him a waffle, put some chocolate chips on it.
And he looks so appreciative.
He does. We hung out. We talked. It was 2 mornings with the goose. And then we went in the pool.
Wow.
And then I also enjoyed my granddaughter who hasn't been in a hotel pool that much. Where's that picture of me throwing up the girlie? You got that one? This is what made the weekend to me. Being with my grandkids.
You're an amazing granddad.
Isn't that great picture, though?
Yeah.
She's like, whoa. So great time on the weekend. Owego, New York. We went there to get some coffee. I don't drink. Beautiful, cute little town upstate, 20 minutes north of Binghamton.
Oswego?
No, Owego. There's Oswego, I guess you say it, right?
Owego. So
Owego.
I didn't know that.
We're going to try to do a show up there. Cute little town. This weekend, Laughter Saves Lives at Williston Park Firehouse on Friday, and St. Stan's, which Richie did last year in Queens.
Great. 2 great.
And you did Williston Park also, I think, right?
Is that the one I ran for you?
Maybe.
No, that was
Maybe.
the one Jim Mandrinos cut his leg.
No. Oh, this is funny on the hotel bill. I digress.
Wait a minute. Williston Park, I set that all up, didn't I?
That wasn't the one where Jim cut his leg, though. You may have. That was the one in Williston Park.
Right.
No?
Okay. Well, I don't remember what I did so much.
You like the water with the bigger holes on top. It's just more refreshing. We both got to get on ADD meds.
Yeah, we do.
In
I
fact,
have a question about that.
I went to the doctor today,
Yeah,
my
I
cardiologist.
guess it'll wait.
Well, no. This
No,
is
no.
along with it. He
Oh,
has to approve my ADD meds because it raises your heart
Right.
rate. So I went to him today, and I did a whole bunch of testing a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the stress test?
I never did it yet.
And then
in my life.
the one where they shoot the dye in you and you do that
No.
stress. I did all these kind of stress tests, right?
I should do it.
I kicked. Can I say kick this?
No.
On the stress test where they tell you when you get tired, let us know.
Yeah.
I never said I'm tired. They stopped the test, which is good.
And they said, you look like you've had enough.
No, they
Oh.
said all good, everything's good. I get the results of the test, and on top of it, what is the first thing it says? Abnormal.
What?
And now I'm reading this whole test, which is like, this isn't it. It was like 8 pages, and I can't figure out why it's abnormal.
Right.
So anyway, here's the results that he gave me today.
Maybe they were just, it was running out of ink. The
Maybe.
printer.
Maybe. But here's the results he gave me today,
Yes.
the doctor. We have not looked at them yet. The doctor gave me the paper, and I said, well, how does it look? And he said,
Read it.
yeah, read it and call me tomorrow.
Some doctor.
So, yeah, so there's a...
Very non-committal.
I'm gonna hipper this right on the air. 197 pounds.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
Yeah, it's good. You're tall.
BMI is 26.76. Is that good?
Is that good? I don't even
Blood
know.
pressure 110/60. I'm kicking it there, right? That's good.
Yep.
Oxygen saturation 98%.
Well, why wouldn't they just highlight what is abnormal?
Well, there's nothing abnormal. But what I wanted to talk about, people, is Richie and I both want to go on ADD. Well, I don't know do you want to go on the ADD meds?
I don't want to go on ADD med, but I have serious ADD. Yes, Butch is here.
But here's
Well, I don't know. I don't know for how long you guys are gonna. You keep talking about ADD meds.
yeah,
It's hysterical.
You're right.
here's what I wanted to tell you, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
He gave me a doctor that owns a health food store for some natural remedies before you go on the meds. So I'll tell you how that works out. I think I'm going to do that. All right, so let's go to our first break.
No, actually, we're fine. Keep talking.
Oh, I thought you said we were running over.
No, you're great.
Talk about.
All right, so that's that. I got two more things to talk about.
Right.
Oh, I went to the supermarket with the goose, right, early in the morning, and I had the shopping cart, and he was running through. Think about this. When you were a kid, wouldn't you like to run through a supermarket with a cart, right, and just bounce off of things?
Yeah, you could. You know what, John? Don't even
Yes.
tell me that you're the grandfather or the
Yes.
father that actually runs with the cart and then jumps up on it, like rides it.
That's not normal.
I hate those.
I do it in the
guys.
parking lot.
Do you?
Yeah, I do that in the parking lot. Oh, when the goose is on the front, though, it's more fun. But he thought he could go right down the middle of the aisle and go fast.
Yeah.
And he did one of those Home Alone looks when he bounced into one of the aisles.
Yeah.
But thank God it wasn't glass.
Wow.
That's what made my trip. I can have fun anywhere. I always used to tell my kids, you could have fun anywhere.
Right.
Here's what I remember about my vacations as a kid. I guess we got to wrap it up then. Here's what I got to remember about my vacations. Going up to the Catskills,
Yes.
we were allowed to have soda.
Mm.
Soda.
As
Am I
a
saying
kid.
it right? It's soda. Right? Some people,
Yeah.
I used to say soda from Queens. Soda. There was a machine, and I've told this story before. The Coke bottles were in the machine like this, Richie.
Yeah.
And you'd pull it out. This thing would go open, and a cold
I remember.
soda bottle.
It had the
the little prongs
fork
around the nip,
holding it
around
in,
the
yeah.
top.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal. I still
Yeah.
remember that to this day.
Isn't
That
that nice?
feeling
You-
of pulling that Coke bottle out.
yeah.
Um,
You didn't understand how you didn't break the bottle. You used to have to really pull it out, right?
no, it wasn't too hard. Here, what?
Well, now it's time. Let me tell you something, though. We are so loaded with heroes tonight.
Yeah, let's get to them.
It's unbelievable. We are hero heavy tonight.
All right, so
And I
let's
have like 6 stories. But we'll talk about them another
talk about
time.
that at 9. We're going to go to a break, and then we'll be back with Matt Dyer.
Yeah.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
Yeah, we're back with Laughter Saves Lives live. I got
Live.
From Massapequa, New York,
Yeah.
Paradise Studios. The other thing I wanted to add about the hotel, the Goose on day one, my grandson, who's 7, they had gummy bears on the shelves in that thing up front. So he grabbed the gummy bear. He goes, "I Grandbabs."
In the room?
No, from the thing, the pantry. He grabbed it and he goes, "Grandbabs." I go, "You got to tell the lady when you take it. You can't just take them, right?"
Right.
But that's all I said about it. I looked at the bill yesterday, and there was 8 bags of gummy bears over the 3 days taken. So he must have taken off the shelf and went, "Room 209, room 209, charges to room 209." So that's not what I meant when I could tell the lady.
Can I just tell you? I think this is new. Right in front of you, next to the fire truck. Do we have a new truck added? Like that green truck? Look at that.
It's the army truck.
We've had it.
All ready for tonight.
Yeah, no, we've had it.
We are
Front
ready.
center. All right, let's bring our next guest in. He's retired military, and he is Matt Dyer. Bring him in. Bring him in. Matty, Army, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your service. How many years in the military, Matt?
Just under 6. I joined June 2012. I got out December of 2017. And then I did another 4 years working with the DoD as a civilian. So I spent about just under 10 years altogether.
What did you do for the DoD? Is it secret stuff?
A lot of people would try and tell you that to make their job sound cooler, but I was an intel analyst. So if you put a keyboard in front of me right now, I'd basically be ready to go to work.
Wow.
All right.
Been to Afghanistan twice, and both deployments I had jeans and air conditioning. So,
my dad was in the military. He was an athlete, so they put him in charge of the gym. So he had a nice little bedroom in the gym, could come and go as he pleased. He had a nice job there too. But we do appreciate your service. So you're a very interesting young man. As
a little bit.
You are doing something that nobody has ever done, correct?
Correct.
You are walking not across the United States of America. You are walking to all 4 corners of our wonderful country.
That is correct. So I'm originally from Maine. That's actually where I am currently located right now. And I've always wanted to do a cross-country walk, and just the convenience of already being in the top corner I don't want to do something that other people have already done before. This is started as kind of a fitness challenge for me and challenging myself mentally and physically. And I don't want to be the fourth or fifth person to do something. I made up my own thing to be the first person. So
it's awesome. And the reason you're doing it is pretty interesting. Richie and I are doing something similar. We're going to walk around this block where the studio is 6 times. No, we can find it.
I heard you, John. I heard you before you brought me in here. You said you had played pickleball 4 days ago before that you were on the ground in that picture, and you were sore still 4 days later. So I believe that.
Sure.
Before we get to your story, how are you doing this route? Are you going from Maine to Florida, or are you going diagonal?
So it's pretty simple, actually. I put Miami into my GPS every single day, and then I find a place that I can sleep without trespassing within 10 to 30 miles of where I start that day, and then I go. And the route Google Maps takes you on is all legal walking roads that are not blue sign highways. I can be on any other road, and it goes all the way down to Miami. And then I'm looping back inland because I actually spent about 5 years in Albuquerque, New Mexico, working at Kirtland Air Force Base. So I want to make sure I go out of my way to go to Albuquerque, and then going to San Diego, and then up to Olympia, Washington. And a lot of people ask me, are you going to go across the top? And the answer is no, I'm not, because I can coordinate this route to align with the seasons and the weather patterns, and I can't with the top. So,
okay. So now, as we were talking this afternoon, I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is how my mind goes, Laughter Saves Lives. We try to help veterans, and what can we do for Matt, in memory of my guys. And I realized that we really, other than have you on the show, which, I mean, I don't mean this in a mean way. You don't really care either way, because you're not doing this to get any attention or to help anybody or whatever, or get help. You're doing it because you want to do it.
Yeah, so that's definitely never going to fade into the background, but that is why I started this walk. And then I would say a new, very prevalent reason that I'm doing this is just the people. Like, I didn't realize before I left how awesome the interactions that I was going to have with other Americans on my route. Overwhelmingly positive response to me, and people just want to go out of their way to talk to me. I was on Special Report with Brett Baer on national Fox News, and I had people pulling over to just take pictures with me. It was weird.
Well, after the show, you're going to have a lot more people following you.
Yeah. What we have, if I don't know if you guys can see it or not, we have Matt's Facebook page, which is 2023 Walk USA.
Oh, okay.
And one of the best things that you can do for him is, if you would like him to stay at your place, we have a lot of viewers all over the country. If you can make it available to him, you could visit his Facebook page and shoot him a message. And I know Matt would love that.
Wow.
Definitely.
What I was thinking is, I know what you mean by meeting somebody, with the cell phones now, text messages, social media, just the fact of meeting somebody new and having a conversation. There's something lost in that interaction. And you're meeting people that you didn't know who are excited about meeting you, but it's also good for you because you've gone through some hardship.
Right, and these meetings are also taking place on the side of the highway. So that's another added fun perk to it. I'm a pretty well-groomed person, and I'm physically fit, so I don't really look homeless, but people are still having to decide, I'm gonna pull over and talk to that random person walking on the side of the road. Do you know many people in New York City that would do something like that?
That's crazy. Did you ever walk into somebody at a Wawa and you want to strike up a conversation? They don't want to engage, and you're like, "Hey, I just walked 800 miles for this conversation.
Well, I wear reflective gear everywhere I go. So usually people, when I'm in stores or restaurants, people will see my cart outside of wherever I'm inside of, and they'll come in and see me wearing my reflective gear, and they'll be like, okay, so that's the guy. And usually people will just come talk to me. I don't really go out of my way to, hey, everybody, I'm walking across America. So
well, what do you wear on your back on that board, whiteboard, I think you said?
Oh, yeah. So on the back of my cart, well, my old cart, I still have to make a new one because I'm actually already did 940 miles of the walk and I have to start it over again. But the sign says Army Vet walking across USA, and then it just has my Facebook page. So
cool.
That's I have an album on my page that's just law enforcement, and there's like 20 something police officers that have taken like selfies with me for my page.
Cool.
That started with them actually pulling me over and doing like a traffic stop because someone called the police on me.
Sure.
So the sign helps with letting people know that I have a reason to be out there and that they can just leave me be, kind of thing.
What I'm getting at is your own mental health to take care of yourself. Okay.
Right.
From what I understand, that's part of this walk. You had some tragedies in your life, and this has kind of helped you work your way through them. Am I correct?
Absolutely. And I'm in a good headspace overall right now, just as an individual, but I also have a lot of stuff that I want to kind of deep dive internally and think about. So, I mean, absolutely about mental health. Like, there's nothing like being out walking past dark on a clear night and just looking up at the stars, and there's nobody else around, and I can just be out in nature and exercise.
Do you walk at night at all, or just during the day?
I prefer walking at night, just because there's no traffic. I can freely walk like down the middle of the road most of the time. So then I can see the headlights from behind hills and around corners instead of seeing a car when it's in front of me. So
now, how many sneakers are you plan on going through?
So on that first 940 miles I ran through 2 pairs of basketball shoes, like Nike basketball shoes, and 1 pair of actual like issue Army boots. So
walking like jogging shoes, sneakers.
Basketball, yeah. So 2 pairs of like Nike jogging basketball shoes I've already run through. The bottom has a hole in it, and I did the same thing to a pair of boots as well.
Now, have they been autographed and sent off to anybody in particular?
Oh no, they just got tossed. But I have a cart that I use a deadlifting belt. So if you're familiar with the leather belts they use at the gym for deadlifting and squatting, I have one of those that I've modified slightly so that it attaches to a resistance band that's also attached to the handle of my cart. So I clip into this deadlifting belt, and I free walk with this 130-pound cart full of all my stuff behind me. And
what's cool about this is you could have had sponsors for your sneakers, people giving you money, and you said to me, I don't want any of that because I want to do what I want to do. I want to say what I want to say, and I don't want to be restricted by anybody. And I give you a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, my followers on Facebook would tell you that people tell me all the time it's better than any TV show that's on right now.
We actually have a few of the folks who were with you and are rooting you on. Carolee Stoddard said, "We love Matt. Stay positive. Can't wait to follow you again. Love your story." Brenda Aquisto was waiting for you to come on. So you've got the people behind you.
How could
Does
you not?
anybody ever join you or walk behind you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to get into the story because I'm sure we don't have time, but I love when people do that. And on that first 940, it only happened 3 times. But I was in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and I met a woman who is from 30 minutes from me up here in Maine, and we're on a cycling trail in the woods in Pennsylvania, and she just came up and saw my sign, asked me what I was up to. We started talking, and I told her I left Maine. She's like, "Oh, Freiburg, I'm from Freiburg," and I'm like, I literally grew up. My dad was had a little food station set up selling pulled pork sandwiches at the Freiburg Fair, and I was up there every year. And I met this woman in Pennsylvania. And my mom is in assisted living up here in Maine, and she actually told me, like, when I get back to Maine, I'm going to go visit your mom. And she had never met my mom, and she just met me for 30 minutes on the side of the road.
And this is what it's all about. What you want. What about, like, has this ever been done? I've never heard anybody ever doing this.
No, he said never.
So you're it. What about?
Well, there are people who have done cross-country walks, but nobody has ever done this Four Corners route before. Right. So the one that I know of that happened most recently was the one that I told Butch about on the phone this morning. There's a guy named Isaiah Shields from Salt Lake City, Utah, and part of his Mormon mission was he did a cross-country walk. He went up to Olympia and then all the way to West Quoddy Headlight in Maine. And so that's where I got the Four Corners from. It's like, okay, that guy finished in November of 2022, so just 6 months ago.
Right.
And
I want to ask one more question. How many miles did you calculate approximate?
The total walk is 5,871 miles.
How about steps per day?
Oh, steps. I don't know, but my longest day was actually in New York. It was a 30-mile day. I walked from Dover, New York, the border of Connecticut, all the way to Fishkill, New York, to the Holiday Inn in Fishkill.
Yeah.
And going over the Newburgh Beacon Bridge was one of my favorite events of the entire.
That's a nice bridge. That's a nice bridge. That's right near Poughkeepsie, I think. Where?
Did you ever, at any time in the middle of your walk, say, "Okay, this is a bad idea"?
No.
You're enjoying it.
I thought there were going to be days maybe 5 days a week I'm excited. Maybe 2 I have to drag myself out of bed. That wasn't the case. It was all 7 days excitement the whole time. And like that Newburgh Beacon Bridge, like I had my American flag and I sprinted the whole bridge. I was so excited. I was having so much fun. Didn't even matter if anyone saw me or anything. I was just out there just running across this bridge like Braveheart with my flag. It was awesome.
Love it. So we can find you at Facebook, right? 2023 Walk USA.
Correct.
Is there any other websites or anything else? When are you getting started again?
I'm on TikTok as well for the young crowd. I don't like TikTok though, but it's funny. I'm starting again June 1st, and I'm gonna probably be in New York again. Maybe right around the 30-day mark, a month.
If you want to get in touch with us, maybe I can come out and walk with you for a little while.
That would be awesome.
And
I'll be in the Dover, Wingdale, Fishkill, Newburgh area.
Yeah, I'll just do the bridge with you.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Matt, thanks so much
Thanks
for coming
so much,
on.
and thanks for your service.
Great story.
Thank you.
Service.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, we'll be right back after this break.
Well, that was fun.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that could save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child.
As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
Strong Island Television. Interesting guest, Matt. I would go out and walk with him, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
He's got you for 3 or 4 blocks.
Easily. Let's bring out our next guest. He's also a retired military man. Eddie Molina is with us. Eddie, what was your title in the military?
I was a field artillery officer.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow.
I mean,
Now-
I'm not trying to sound fancy. I just wanted to clarify that.
So what did you actually do as a field artillery officer?
Well, the first job you got to do is the worst job, which is you're responsible for where the rounds end up. So it's kind of like the rookie job. You start at the bottom, you do all the calculations, and if something goes wrong, they troubleshoot, and the first person they look at is whoever officer is in charge involved. Yeah, and there's multiple ways that they cross-check each other, but accidents do happen.
And you were in the Army?
Yeah.
How many years?
I spent 10 years in the National Guard. I deployed in 2008 to Iraq, but they changed our mission from artillery to MPs because there's no way they were going to send a reserve unit to do artillery in a city. So they're like, yeah, we'll scratch that.
Right. Well, thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, it's something that people throw out there, but I really mean it. I mean, you left your family to go someplace that was kind of scary, and not too many people would do that. So you guys are special.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned from talking to a lot of people in the first responder, military, law enforcement community, even firefighters, everybody admires each other because we all get used to what we're doing. So I admire firefighters just as much as I admire other veterans, even guys who've done the same thing I've done, just because when you're doing it, you're not really thinking about it. You're just getting the mission done.
I always say I admire veterans. They left their family and all that. And I had the opportunity once at my uncle's funeral to stand with all the military guys and salute my uncle at the cemetery. Probably the only time I'm going to stand next to my dad and be included as one of them. So that was a highlight of my life to be able to do that, stand next to my dad and salute my uncle. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing in your retirement after the military.
Well, what started out as a hobby became more of something I do out of passion. I used to write for this small magazine, Law Enforcement, out of New Jersey. This is like over 10 years ago. At the time I was going to school and they were looking for papers. I'm like, that's all I do. So I started submitting them there. And then as time went on, the years went on, I started writing more and more. And then I got into looking into nonprofits and talking about those stories. And then I wanted to write about that because, like a lot of us, we donate to different causes. And I'm like, well, how can I be more effective at it than just handing a few bucks here and there? So I'm like, well, I have a platform. I have somewhat of a skill of writing. Let me talk about these nonprofits so that whoever's reading them, whether it be firefighters, military, whoever, if they find a nonprofit that sounds like something they'd be into, then hopefully I can direct them there. Because as you guys know, not all nonprofits fit everybody the same way.
Right. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot, including Laughter Saves Lives. I mean, it's not easy fundraising out there. And so I'm sure these charities appreciate you kind of shining a spotlight on them. Yeah.
Because sometimes, I might connect a donor. And I did this recently, connected a donor with a nonprofit that she was passionate about. And they had no idea each other existed. So now she's passionate about the concept of the nonprofit and wants to support it in other ways. So it's kind of like everybody wins. Yeah, that's really cool. There was a new project you wanted to talk about, no? Yes, there was. I'm working on it's another way to help veterans because I'm really big into veterans. So what we have decided to do, my brother and I, we're hosting a free concert in middle of New Jersey. Where is it? And it's actually in South River, New Jersey. Okay. Right. It's a VFW, South River, New Jersey. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to make sure that it's free and it stays free for veterans. Because one of the things we find is that when you put a bunch of veterans together in one place, they kind of support each other. So we want to eliminate all barriers and any excuses for why a veteran shouldn't show up. So we want to make sure, hey, not only is it free, but we're also offering giveaways. We're also bringing in some good name bands. How are you paying for this night? We are relying on sponsorships and donations. That's our goal. We're in. Laughter Saves Lives is in.
Hey, and just so you know, that's literally, I don't know, an eighth of a mile from my house. I'm in East Brunswick. Wow. I'm literally right next to. That's the next town over from me.
What you're saying is he'll be He'll be
I'll be
helping
there.
out. He'll be serving
Yep.
some food.
I'll
Whatever
definitely be eating. I'll definitely be eating some food.
Did I work
Definitely.
there and you came to the show?
No, this is
What's
something.
That
What's
wasn't
that?
W.
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. That was Old Bridge. This is South River, which is on the other side of 18.
Gotcha.
Eddie, do you
But
have,
yeah, it's right
do you
there.
have a date for this show?
It is August 19th, and I just started putting up all the information on the internet. You can go to vfwconcert.com and get all the information, how veterans can register, how people can sponsor, get involved, learn a little bit about the bands, because one of the bands that we're highlighting, they're an all-veteran band, and one of them is a retired special operations guy. I can't really talk about his missions, but he's doing it for free. So everyone's kind of volunteering their time to get this done because they also are very into helping the veteran community out. And his band member used to be a lead guitarist for Nirvana and Soundgarden. So we do have a strong, we do have definitely a strong basis. And we just booked another band earlier today. So I haven't updated the website, but
What's
I will
the name?
as information. VFWconcert.com is where you can get all the information.
You're going to have a journal or just a website?
What's that?
You having a website? Like if you sponsor, do you put them? Do you have a website or do you have a journal? Like, do you have levels of sponsorship? We can't talk about that, the levels, but is there a way that people can help and find that information?
Yes, that's going to all be on the concert. And just to update, because I saw the website pop up, it's vfwconcert.com. There you go. Okay. That's the one. And that's where all the information, the sponsorship levels, information on the bands. As soon as we get updates, we keep updating that website, and it's brand new. So forgive me for having some typos or something like that, but that's where you can continue to stay posted.
Great idea.
You know, after you're done with vfwconcert.com, we could do vfwcomedyshow.com, and we could come and do a comedy show for you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Butch, while you're up there, do we have our comic? I don't see him in the waiting room.
I do not see him either. I'll go find him.
Do you have his phone number?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so it's a work in progress, but I'm sure you guys remember the movie Field of Dreams.
Yes.
I'm taking that approach where I'm like, just build it and it will come, because I'm like, I know all these people, I have all these ideas, and I just decided to go all in.
No,
Good for you.
I love it. I love the enthusiasm. People, I'm sure, will come. And it's, even if you have, a small one the first time, when people get the feedback from it, the next one is always bigger and better.
Yeah, and that's the goal. We're going to go all in on this, and we're trying to make a big splash. One of our strategies, we haven't issued the press release out, but one of our strategies is the more money we can raise through sponsorships and donations, the bigger of an act, because we're still looking for like a high-level headliner, and the more donations we get, the higher profile person we get.
Invite me as your comedian. I understand.
I never like to mix comedy and bands, and it's been done a million times. No. I just feel it's a different feel. People are there to see music and get, and when you throw a comic up there, a lot of times people are talking, and you definitely can't do it after the band.
It doesn't mix that
No,
much.
it doesn't mix well. But we'll definitely talk then about doing a VFW comic. Yeah. Any websites or anything that you want to throw up there?
Well, if people want to know about what I do as far as the type of nonprofits that I talk about, it's actually my name. My name's on the screen, EddieMolina.com. And from there, you can see some of the websites, some of the nonprofit websites that I support. And one of the reasons why I do that is because these are nonprofits that I've spoken to. I've spoken to the founders. I've spoken to the people that run it. And I know that they're genuine, because not all nonprofits are really their hearts in it. But the ones that I do post, I know that they're 100% genuine. I know that they are driven by people.
Coming from somebody who runs a foundation, people don't understand that sometimes you have to stay stone neutral, and you have to watch what people say when they're on your show or your website, because that comes back to you, and all you want to do with the charity is do good. And you can't do that if you're getting this kind of feedback. Anyway, you're doing great stuff. We'll see you at the concert. We'll talk tomorrow about Laughter Saves Lives getting involved. And thank you for coming on.
Thank
You're
you.
most welcome. I do want to throw in there that I will be writing about you guys. I got the video. I have everything I need. And while I was in the waiting room, I already started writing about Matt's story, and that's already in the works. So I'll have that published too.
Eddie, I wasn't going to ask you, but I had my fingers crossed that you were going to do that.
Yeah, it's. I have to have the shell right now. I do it pretty quickly.
I would have called you tomorrow, but I was going to let slide. Thank you for doing that, Eddie.
All right, Eddie. Thank you.
Be well.
Take care.
All right. We'll go to break and we'll be right back.
Quickie.
Zwanger Passeri has been delivering a true patient-centric experience for the past 70 years. You can always expect to be cared for with compassion, scanned on the latest technology, and a highly trained subspecialized radiologist to interpret your images.
Hey, we want to bring out our comic, Rich Carucci.
All right.
911 dispatcher. And
Whoa,
also,
that's
what I found interesting, do you know anybody else like this? I think, tell me the truth if I got this right. Your dad was a stand-up comic?
My grandfather.
Your is that interesting?
That is interesting. Do we
Yeah.
know him?
It's
No, he was a vaudevillian.
Oh.
It skipped a generation.
Yeah, no, my father really didn't have much of a sense of humor. I kind of put him through hell. So, yeah, I think I ruined it for him. But my grandfather was great. Every time I had a party growing up, he came and did his act, and everyone thought I hired him. They go, "Who's that comic? Where'd you find him from?" And it proves to you that a comic only needs about 2-3 people for an audience, because he'd do it for any time I had people over. He'd go into his act.
Was he your inspiration for doing comedy? Like you saw him and said, "I could do this. I got to do this."
He kept it. He was my inspiration for doing it. He was a lot funnier than me, but he opened me up to a lot of comedy. He would have me watch Abbott Costello, the Marx Brothers, W.C. Fields. He was big on all comedy.
It's funny, like you mentioned. I'm going to say one thing, because when I was a kid, I had my uncle, my mother's brother, Uncle Jerry, and oh my God, he had me laughing as a kid so much. And we used to talk about comedians, and he was like one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. It's amazing that even your family members are funny enough to make a child.
And I'm sure it rubbed off on stage. What kind of stuff do you talk about?
I talk about my life. I talk about how I was actually a childhood actor when I was growing up. My grandfather got me into that. I did several Chef Boyardee commercials. I was on the Ed Sullivan Show.
What?
On the Easter special. I peaked at 7 is what happened.
That's just so when MCs bring you up today, do they mention that you were on the SpaghettiOs and the Ed Sullivan Show?
Oh, only Steve Bix used to do that.
Our buddy Steve Bix.
Did he? Yeah. Rich,
But,
we never worked together, right?
What's that?
We never worked together, me and you.
I don't think so. I've worked with John. It's been a long time, but I don't think I have, Rich. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to one day.
Richie's
work
great.
with you.
Richie's great to follow because you seem like twice as good as you really are.
I love it. I do it every night. And that guy Matt was just blowing me away. He's walking across America. I'm upset because I have to drive 8 hours tomorrow. You know, I don't get.
Yeah. I don't even want to go to the Four Corners and just walk in their neighborhood.
No. He's amazing. He's like a superhero. That guy.
Absolutely
amazing. Yeah,
absolutely.
I got bunions just listening to what he's doing.
Yeah.
So what else you got on stage? Give us some of your shtick.
I'd be terrified to walk at night like he's doing.
That's what I thought.
I love doing comedy. It's my passion. You know, it's what I was meant to do, and you just got to be careful. Cancel culture's out there everywhere, right? I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Get canceled. I've been getting death threats. All right, they're notes from my doctor. Is actually what they are. But, you gotta watch though. I didn't make this up. It's even in the animal kingdom. You can't say gypsy moth anymore. I swear that you can't say it. It offends gypsies. And I'm sure gypsy would offend gypsies, but you can't say Asian carp anymore. It offends the Asians. You have to say evasive carp. But nobody cares. The Italians never get any respect. Nobody cares about the Italians. You could say guinea pig all day long. No one cares. So
they just don't care.
Very true.
They don't care. But Yeah, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. I did. I grew up in an Italian neighborhood in Hackensack. And it's funny, right before the pandemic, they had that saying in New York, if you see something, say something, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in an Italian neighborhood my whole life. I was told, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. So I didn't know what to do. But I feel like I'm getting older. I just had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was a surprise 50th birthday. And I know what you're saying. How could you have a surprise birthday party for yourself, as I did? And the surprise is I'm 59. That's the surprise. But I'm starting to feel age. But I can't see anymore. You guys were talking about ADD medication. I couldn't even get my laptop to work. So I'm like, I need the medication too. I do.
Oh, yeah.
My kids are always on my case. They're like, Dad, you can't see, you can't hear. And they go, you should get LASIK surgery. If you get LASIK surgery, you'll be able to see better. And I try to explain to them that at my age, the less I know what's going on around me, the better off I am. That's how I do it. That's my kids are killing me slowly. They're killing me.
Yeah, huh?
My son's school called me up. They said they think he has a learning disability.
Oh.
The test costs $14,000. Can you believe that? $14,000 not covered by my insurance. And I'm like, $14,000? You must think we're both idiots because I got to be honest. For $14,000, I'll just get a new kid. We'll start this. Feel my pain. Junior's 18. He's in the 10th grade. 18 in the 10th grade.
Oh.
And I say anything, I'm the bad guy. He's like, Dad, why are you breaking my chops? There's people older than me in school. I said, yeah, but they're called teachers, you idiot. Okay, they're there. He tells me, he goes, I like high school. I want to stay. I said, you're too old. Of course you like high school. He doesn't do anything. You know, he's older than the principal at this point. He's got his own parking space. But during the pandemic, he got his GED. So I'm so happy for Junior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he got his GED. Then he got a job at the liquor store across the street. So this way we'll be spending more time together. And I have a daughter too. I got a daughter.
How old?
Oh, she's mature. She's much more mature than him. She moved out at 17. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Wow.
There's nothing like a 17-year-old telling you, looking around, you know what? I think I could do better on my own. I am out of here. But I got them full time when their mom passed away, my ex-wife. And I like, you know, I'm a comedian. I can't be in charge of a cactus plant.
Right.
You know? I got these two kids. I went from the one weekend a month to 1 week during the summer to what am I going to do now? So I didn't know what to do. I brought it to my girlfriend's apartment. She had a 1-bedroom apartment that I was crashing in. I said, look what we have now. And that lasted about 3 weeks till she said, what are you going to do now? And I said, well, I'll get us all a bigger apartment. And she said, no, what are you going to do now? And I was, and it's like that. And she goes to me, I'm not raising you and your kids. That's not happening. So
true.
The kids were crying. They were upset the whole time. Their mother just passed away. Their kid, they missed their stepdad. They're like, we miss Mike. We love Mike. We want to go live with Mike. That's where all our stuff is. And I had to tell them, listen, hey, you're my responsibility. There's no way you're going to live with Mike unless I come with you. That's right. I'm not proud. I moved in with their stepdad, and Mike, amazing man, amazing guy, Mike. I mean, really, I knew him from high school, and we always got along. I mean, he's great. He cooks, cleans, listens to everything I got to talk about. I mean, now I know why she left me for Mike. I'll tell you that much. You know? I told him, I said, Mike, I want to let you know, if you meet somebody, we are now a family unit. We are all in this together. But
we all got to go. Rich, where can people find you moving forward? Where are you performing over the next weekend?
I'll be up at the Crazy Country Club in Hawley, Pennsylvania, Saturday. You could find me a lot in New York City at Three Monkeys on West 46th Street. Also find me richcarucci.com, Rich Carucci Facebook, Dickcar_64 on Instagram.
Rich, thank you for coming and doing the show. I contacted you last minute and you came through. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this. You're hysterical.
Take care, Rich. We'll see you soon. Rich Carucci coming on. I only called him today. We were stuck.
Wow, look at that.
We were stuck and he came on.
I think he
was great.
He was great. One more time.
This was a great show. I love great shows. I love them.
Thank you. That's
Me too. We'll be
words of
back
wisdom.
next week.
Yep.
We have some special guests next week. I even think we always book the guests last minute, but I think we have the whole show booked.
Wow.
Who do we have on next week, Butch? We got I think we got Jack Clunan sitting in.
Jack Clunan, yep. Jack Clunan's coming in with the Marty Lyons Foundation.
Yeah.
So we've got a good show next week.
All right, so we'll see you next week on Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
Ow, bada bing.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the deer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.